A live stream with the Carpetbagger. What's up, blind viewers? All right, I hope everybody had a happy holiday. So, yes, a live stream with the Carpetbagger. So I was over on Loose Skunts, a little live stream that he was doing. And I was checking in and listening and reading all the comments, and some people had mentioned that the Carpetbagger was having a live stream at the very same time. So I decided to pop on over. Well, why did you do that, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. All right, so I think I mentioned this before in another video, but I really didn't watch the Carpetbagger. I was actually introduced to the Carpetbagger by Dave Hughes when the Carpetbagger actually went to Dave's, and they had a little meetup, and they went out for, I think, pizza, and sat down at the restaurant and had a little chit-chat and everything. So that's when I watched the Carpetbagger. I went over and watched the flip side of Dave's. I watched the Carpetbagger's point of view, and I checked out maybe one or two of his videos, and that was about it. The only thing that I know about the Carpetbagger was from all the videos whenever Dave mentions him, or and all the recent stuff with when he did the thing, the Swedes accepted speech, and the cat strollers and Patreon thing, and bottom of YouTube thing, and that's all I know, really. Kind of like all the hubbub, the buzz around here at the bottom of YouTube. So I figured, let me go on over here and check him out, have a listen, see what's going on. All right, first off, I will say that I did ask a bunch of questions, and I started out with, I have a question. And he was in his car. He was doing postcards, I think he was sending out to all his peeps. But he stopped and he said, okay, BlindViews, go ahead and ask your question. So I presented the question, which was basically, you know, if I did a video about you, you know, maybe even said some mean or nasty things, but didn't mention your family, your kids, or didn't put up your address or any of that stuff, would you flag me? And he said no, and kind of went on a little explanation about no, blah, 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 blah. He said, you know, I don't agree with what you say, but from what I've seen in your videos, you don't, like, cross that line and do anything horrible and all that good fun stuff. So I figured, well, he answered, so let me ask some more questions. So I posed a question. I don't even remember what the order was or anything, but I asked him, I said, was the little spat between you and Dave, was that just some fake thing that, you know, for view counts and all that stuff, or what was up with that? He said, no, it wasn't. Well, basically, he said about, I guess this was the later one, he said, no, when I said this and that about Dave, it was genuine, and that's the way I felt. And he said, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. It was wrong the way I did it. It was just, I was mad, and it was unprofessional. And he kind of said that that's the way he feels, but he shouldn't have expressed it that way in public, I guess, on the YouTube forum. But I guess he said that the earlier spat was, I guess, back and forth friendly banter, kind of joking stuff, and I guess some people took it too far, and it kind of got out of hand, and that's when everything snowballed and went crazy. And so that was his take on that. I asked him how he thought the meetup with Dave went, if it was you know, if it was a good meetup, if he thought it went well and all that. And he said he enjoyed it. He actually genuinely did like Dave and thought they were going to have a good friendship, but apparently that wasn't the case. But for a while, you know, they were friendly and they had their little banner and back and forth and everything. And where it went wrong, I don't know. But I guess he feels that some of Dave's followers in the comments took things too far with their little banner back and forth, and that Dave didn't do anything, or maybe not anything, but didn't do enough to curb it and grab it by a tail and put an end to it. So he thinks that that's why things got out of hand and out of control with the way they did. I also asked him if his Swede's speech was a prime opportunity for him to make a dig collectively to everybody on the bottom of YouTube. And he said, definitely. Yes, it was. I also asked him if he thought that there would be backlash from that, and if it was more or less than he expected. He said yes, he did expect backlash, but he didn't expect it, I guess, in the way that it came. Now, I'm not quoting anything. I didn't record this. This is from memory. And I'm an old guy, so like I said, this isn't word for word, so I'm not quoting anyone. I don't remember the exact words I said or his exact response, but the gist of it. Yeah, he said that he thought it would be, I guess previously, you know, in the other question, he did say, yes, this was an opportunity to not just call out people one by one by one by one, but collectively just, throw a big jab at the bottom of YouTube. He said he thought it would be funny just for the fact that he was the big supervillain, the one that was flagging everyone and all this other stuff, and that all the fact that the trolls were giving other trolls awards, and that the big supervillain, the one that was getting trolled the most in his eyes, was actually on giving an acceptance speech. He just thought it would be funny and everything. He knew that some people wouldn't take it that way, but he didn't think that no one would see the humor in it at all, you know. He was surprised that people took it too seriously. And it was too much to type back and forth in the chat thing, you know. But, you know, I said it in my other video. I did think it was funny. Except it was the fact that it was the Carpetbagger, because if you're going to flag everybody that says your name or says something about you, you know, if you say, oh, the Carpetbagger's fat, and he flags your channel, then for him to get on and say, you're all knuckleheads and this and that, or whatever, that's where it kind of took the turn for me anyway. But if it would have been, you know, anybody else, I don't know, say, had it been NF Stickers doing an acceptance speech for, well, better yet, if it would have been Nomadic Fanatic doing an acceptance speech for NF Stickers, now that would have been hilarious, okay? Along the same lines, the Carpetbagger doing the speech would have been hilarious, but he just kind of took it a little too far with the jabs. If he'd have been, you know, kind of nitpicky a little bit, kind of like a roast or something like comedians do, and kind of made it jovial and digging, but he just kind of went for it. So I think that's what sent everybody over the edge. What else did I ask him? I asked him if he thought Dave Hughes had a unhealthy obsession with Adam the Woo, and he said yes, but he also said that a lot of people have an unhealthy obsession with Adam the Woo. He said that when they're together on the streets and stuff, you'd be surprised at the number of people that, you know, kind of run up and, you know, it's the Woo and everything. So, yeah. And then somebody actually commented in the comments that Dave has an unhealthy obsession with a lot of people. So, but yeah, I probably asked a couple more questions, but the whole point of the thing is like I said, I didn't watch him and didn't do this and really wasn't involved in all the drama. I just kind of heard it. I was kind of on the peripheral of all the drama, just kind of eavesdropping, if you will. So I figured I'd just go over and give a listen, see how much smack talk he was doing, and ask him some questions and see how I was treated and other things. And for the most part, I will have to say that I believe he gave honest answers. He didn't treat me nasty. He wasn't like throwing jabs at me directly. You know, I think the worst thing he said was, yeah, from what I see your channel, I mean, I don't agree with you and this and that, but I mean, so, I mean, he really didn't, he wasn't nasty. And he did take the time and answered my questions. And, you know, he was talking and talking, and he would actually stop and say, oh, BlindViews wants to know, and he would read my question, and then he would answer it. Oh, the other thing, I asked him about the his opinion on the Woo live stream at the Soldier's Wall, the Unknown Soldier or whatever, wherever that live stream was, where he got donations and stuff. I asked him about that. He gave his opinion. You know, he explained that, you know, if you enact super chat or whatever it's called, that when people donate, they donate. And, you know, if you're out on your phone or anything, if you're not back at your computer disabling that or turning off or whatever, then it's just there. And he really had no control over it, and he's sure that Adam didn't do anything purposely to disrespect the area of the memorial. And I agree. I have to agree with that. So yeah, I mean, I think all his answers were honest, truthful. He wasn't sugarcoating it. He wasn't bullshitting. He gave me his opinion on everything that I asked him. He didn't blow me off. He wasn't rude. I mean, it wasn't like we were sitting down across the table doing like an interview thing, but that's the closest I could get. So I just wanted to share that little experience with you guys, and let you know how it went. And to say this: if you want to make fun of Loose Gun and tell him, say he's a big fat goof, hides behind the mask, swears too much, bit of a lunatic, and whatever else, go for it. If you want to say the Carpetbagger's a big fat slob with big fuzzy sideburns and wears glasses and his videos suck, so be it. You want to say Dave Hughes is some quirky old man with some wild beard hair and says, I don't know, man, too much, so be it. Hell, if you want to say BlindViews is some old dude with tattoos, metal in his head, in a shitty little ghetto studio, and his opinions he needs to keep to himself because he's an asshole, so be it. But if you want to say something about somebody's family, somebody's kid, you want to try to mess with somebody's livelihood and mess with them at work and send them shit at work and call them at work and post their address and all that other dumb shit, that ain't cool at all, man. That ain't cool at all. I mean, if you put yourself on YouTube, if you sit in front of the camera, I say you're fair game. you put yourself up for scrutiny. That doesn't mean you put yourself up there for every whack job to know your address, social security number, and phone number to come do all kinds of crazy shit because some loudmouth on YouTube didn't like you and decided they were going to spread all your shit. That shit ain't cool at all, man. I mean, it's one thing to make fun of someone's YouTube persona, make fun of their videos that they make, how they edit, how they don't edit, whatever. That's fair game and who cares? But when you do dumb shit to make someone's child not feel safe in their own home, when you do dumb shit to make someone's wife feel uncomfortable getting in the car to go to the grocery store because there's somebody walking across the street that they don't recognize, when you do dumb shit to mess with somebody's livelihood, their real income, not this dumb bullshit money, I'm talking their real work, that shit ain't cool, man. It ain't cool at all. So I say, in 2018, if you want to be mean to somebody, you want to be critical of someone on YouTube, have at it. But be critical of that person. Be critical of what they're doing. Be critical of what they're putting in front of you. You don't got to dig into their life. You don't have to dig into their wallet. You don't have to know their kids' names and where they go to school. You don't need to know none of that. And if you do, there's something wrong with you, and you need to be put in a little room surrounded by rubber and chained to the goddamn floor. Because that shit ain't right, man. There's something wrong with you up in your head. If you're that bored and lonely that you got to dig so deep and try to ruin someone, I feel sorry for you. And you can say all the dumb shit you want about me. I don't care. So be mean, be critical, be spiteful, be jealous, be whatever you want to be to the people in front of you. Keep it that way. Don't mess with people's family. Don't mess with people's kids. No kid should be messed with like that. Plain and simple, man. So let's make 2018 a little bit different. Get back to YouTube. Get back to having some fun and chitting and chatting instead of fussing and fighting. This is BlindViews. Like it or not, agree or not, don't care, cuz that's the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.